talk about the Ukraine and Russia conflict that's happening right now, because there have been some things in the gaming world that are tied to this, and
Hmm.
things moving forward. Josh, if you don't mind, would you just briefly explain your background and relation to the Ukraine, because I know you do have a family tie there.
Yeah, born uh distant, not distant, but a little bit removed relatives there. Um, Half of my family has background. So that's my personal, I guess, tie to it. Um, it's not good. It's
Certainly
really
not.
bad. Um, I don't want to get too political with it because we're going to talk about it in the context of games, but um, you know, we're not warmongers. We don't want any war of any kind. We've lived through enough in our lifetime already. It's a terrible situation. Um, the human toll is just getting started. People are saying, we're 5 days in and there's been X, Y, and Z. If this continues, like it probably will, ultimately to the total destruction of that country, because no other country can really get involved without risking nuclear annihilation, to be honest with you. Um, that's the extermination of a people, and that is really, really terrible. Independent, sovereign nation. Imagine if that happened to the United States. And this is the doing of one human being, and it's not anything against the Russian people, who are also going to suffer greatly for this, but it's impacting the gaming industry wholeheartedly at a human level, and it's really terrible. So let's
Yeah, I
talk
think
about
it
that.
sets a terrible precedent for the future. What if they were to invade another country? What if we're at a standstill? We can't do anything because of the fear of nuclear war, right?
Right.
So
Right.
not fun, but what is fun is video games, and that's what we kind of do to take our minds off of all the bad stuff that's going on in the world. And unfortunately, this is leaking into that.
Hmm.
So of course, we are going to talk about it. So first and foremost, Ukraine's vice prime minister has asked PlayStation and Xbox to block Russian accounts, as depriving Russia and Belarus of modern commodities may help motivate a peaceful end to the incursion.
Yeah. I don't know about that. That's what I'm going to say about a lot of these things, except for any private companies that are getting involved in this, like Disney, Xbox, PlayStation, Apple. I don't really think it's going to help. I mean, I understand the sentiment. I truly don't think it's going to do much, and I don't think Putin gives a shit. And I
The
think,
only, sorry, go ahead.
and I just think ultimately you're hurting the normal people in those countries with things like this. And then at one point, do you stop? At one point, do you be like, okay, we'll give you back this access? I understand the sentiment behind it. I understand why the vice prime minister might ask for it. Um, but I don't necessarily think it's going to have much of an impact.
It's very unfortunate that we have to do things like this in order to hurt the Russians, because we know, as you've mentioned, that it's not everyone in Russia. It's one
Right.
man.
Right.
It's that government.
Right.
So it's a shame that we have to kind of fuck over this whole
Right.
nation of people because of one man. But the whole point is, let's fuck that country up every way we can, except with war, with fighting, in
Hmm.
hopes that they will be like, we literally have nothing left. We can't keep fighting because there's nothing
Right.
left. We're losing it all, right?
Right. Right.
But besides that, and I see your point, but besides that, the one thing I thought of when I read this headline is there was a story a few years back about how the Taliban and what was the terrorist group, ISIS.
Hmm.
The Taliban, ISIS, they were using PlayStation Network to communicate
To
because it was
that.
untraceable and
Yeah.
undetectable.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that has anything to do with this, but that would certainly, if all of their communication efforts get wiped out and the only way they can communicate is fucking PlayStation Network, they will
Yeah.
do it. So
Yeah. It's a good point.
don't
Yeah.
know. The next one, though, it's kind of goes to your point where it doesn't really do anything directly, but EA Sports has decided to remove Russian teams from the NHL and FIFA video games.
Again, I mean, it's not the players' fault. Also, where does that end? When do you be like, okay, we can add you back to fucking FIFA? I don't know, man.
It's
Uh,
taking
I,
away money from them, I would assume, from their one of their hottest commodities in
yeah,
sports.
yeah.
Besides that, I really don't know how that helps.
Hmm.
The next one I think does help quite a lot. And if a company is to do anything, I think this is what they should do.
Hmm.
The Pokemon Company has released a statement about this whole situation. We don't have to read the whole thing, but they've donated $200,000 to partners at the Global Giving nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
So, as you know, Josh, there are Ukrainians that are being kicked out of their country, or they're forced out of their country, I should
Yeah.
say, by
Oh,
the
a
Russians.
million plus refugees as of today.
They have nowhere to go. They're literally living on trains and subways and their benches and wherever they can. So anything that we can donate right now, anything we could do to help those people that need a place to stay, need food, shelter, I think that is the best thing we can do right now is to support those
Yeah.
people. So
Yeah. And that's what I urge a lot of companies and everybody that can to do is focus on helping the humanitarian side of it rather than fueling any sort of you know, fist bumping violence
yeah,
because, you know, I think the Ukrainian military, with the help of allies, will be just fine for a little while in that way. So let's focus on helping the literally millions of people that are losing their homes. So
yeah. Another news story to come out of this is that
mhm.
Stalker 2, the video game Stalker 2, has had their production halted. In a video released from the team, they state, "Now we are striving to help our employees and their families to survive. The game development shifted to the sidelines, but we will definitely continue after the victory." Is this studio from the Ukraine? Is that
They're based in the Ukraine. Yep.
okay?
Yep. They're based
Uh,
in the Ukraine. So the video, I recommend people go watch it. It is pretty cool. They talk about the actual development. They show a bunch of stuff from the development, and then the end they kind of twist in the knife and they show footage that the team has taken and from the country of what is going on there. And it's really really terrible. If you remember in 2017, the quote unquote winter on fire in Ukraine. The what's the name of the studio? There was another prominent Ukrainian studio that picked up and moved shop because of that. So there's going to be a lot of, and Christian mentioned in the chat earlier too, a lot of independent studios too, specifically based in Kiev, that are going to be displaced and moved. And who knows if their games will ever get made, even at that point. Stalker 2, I mean, has a pretty big production team, not just in Ukraine, but also, globally, people working remotely.
yeah,
But the main production was in um, Ukraine. So pretty sad
yeah.
state of affairs there.
I think this one just goes to show that there's some people out there that are probably upset about this, that are upset about a video game being, delayed because of a thing like this. But it's important to step away from the screen, step away from your computer, and realize that there are lives being lost.
Yeah,
Justice is being, freedom is being taken away. Justice is not being served. No one can help these people right now physically, and if a video game is all you're worried about right now, then you are truly a sad, sad human being.
yeah,
Because the people that make the game are literally having their homes destroyed right now.
yeah,
So, and the last little bit of news that I have here for you, Josh, in regards to the Russian and Ukraine conflict, is that Cyberpunk 2077 developer CD Projekt Red is stopping all game sales in Russia and Belarus.
hmm,
Uh, Not to make a joke out of the situation, but this isn't the first time that CD Projekt Red's games have been removed from PlayStation Network.
hmm. Uh,
Uh, if you remember, they had their games taken down, specifically Cyberpunk 2077, after the game launched and was complete ass.
yeah,
This time, though, they're doing it in order to stop video game sales for people of Russia and Belarus. I don't think that this is going to do much. The average consumer is going to go, "Oh, I can't buy in Russia." They're going to go, "I can't buy The Witcher. That fucking sucks." What are you going to expect them to do? Excuse me, Putin, I can't play a video game. Please stop attacking Ukraine. I get the sentiment. I don't think it's going to do much.
I agree. And also, have you ever heard of a VPN?
Yeah, good point.
So
Very
again,
good
I,
point.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I don't think it's going to do much. Um, you know, uh,
Yeah.
It's really abysmal. Not much to be done about it. But this is just, I think, the beginning of how it's going to impact video games. There's going to be larger things about this, more teams, also teams based in, Poland, like CDPR, and all these other surrounding countries where Ukrainians are fleeing to. A lot of those people are going to be without jobs too. So maybe give them a job working in your game studio. I don't know.
Yeah. That's all I got for the Ukrainian and Russian conflict. I do want to say, our thoughts and prayers are with you guys if you're from the Ukraine, and especially Josh. I know, like we mentioned before at the top of the conversation here, that he does have family ties there. So, we're looking to possibly do something in order to help. I don't know what we can really do. We might do a charity stream or something, but we're definitely not going to just stop releasing our podcast in Russia because that's going to do dick all.
Yeah.
So we'll try to raise some money with a stream or something in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to Haptic Intel. Did you do it? Subscribe right now.